Hi guys, my name is Jennifer Anton. I'm the author of Under the Light of the Italian Moon, and I'm so excited to tell you today about my cover because it's starting to appear and the book is now available for pre-order on Amazon as well as barnesandnoble.com. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the cover itself because we've been getting some really amazing compliments. Thank you so much for loving it. And I wanted to give you a little bit of the background into how it was developed and some of the secrets behind it so that you know about it. So here we go. First of all, I want to tell you about the title. And the title is something that quite a few people have asked me about. How did you come up with the title? What made you decide on this title? And for me, I don't know, have you ever been in Italy when the moon is full? I go as often as I can to Italy, and I was there recently this summer, and the moon was absolutely this big balloon in the sky. It was just stunning, illuminating everything. And we were in Palermo at the time, and so it was over the city. And then later I went to Fonzazzo and saw it over the mountains. And it's just magical. And Italians really set quite a store by the moon. So that was one kind of important part to naming it. But it's a really long title, and nobody else quite has this title. Yet it needed to be Under the Light of the Italian Moon. And the other reason really for it is when you think about the moon is always there. And the same moon that's in the sky now that we look up at is the same moon that our ancestors would have looked up at. So during the rise of fascism and during World War II, when my female ancestors were going through everything that they were going through, the joys, so the births of babies, the wedding nights, falling in love, all of that would have been happening, and that same moon that's in the sky now looked over that. And then if you think about the terrible things that were happening, you know, the deaths that happened, the things that happened during the Nazi occupation, the way that Mussolini went about getting power, some of the terrible things that he did in order to get power, some of the terrible things that the fascists did to the people, all of that also happened with the moon. So the moon is just something that is always there. It's something that you can see if you're in Italy, as well as if you're in Europe, as well as if you're in the United States, depending on the time at night. And it really kind of connects us all. So the title, Under the Light of the Italian Moon, despite the fact that I had a very long list of other ideas for the title, it really had to be this one. And I'm so happy that I chose it, and I'm so happy that you guys seem to really like it. The next thing I want to talk to you about are the colors. So the colors also have been getting a lot of positive feedback, and thank you so much for that. It's this beautiful blue, this sort of almost a teal blue. And for me, there's a point in the evenings when the moon is full, or even when the moon is just quite bright, 3/4 full, when the sun has set and it's about 2 hours after that time, that the sky is just this stunning, beautiful color. And I always call it out and probably annoy my family about it, but I really always notice it and appreciate it as being, you know, basically art that's given to us by God every night, which is amazing. But I also wanted to really focus on the story of women and women's resilience. And of course, during the rise of fascism in World War II in Fonzazzo, Italy, this was really a very Catholic community. Specifically, the Virgin Mary was a very important icon to these women, and you know, everything from doing the rosary on a regular, you know, throughout the day to going to pray to the Virgin Mary was something that was so common. And of course, in Catholic faith, Mary is such a strong character. She's gentle, but she's very strong and incredibly resilient, as were the women of Fonzazzo. So when I look back at Renaissance art of the Virgin Mary, especially Botticelli's art, you see that she always has these beautiful blue robes and a golden halo, and often has kind of stars around her. And so I used a lot of that artwork that I saw, especially when I was in Sicily over the summer, to share with the cover designers at CAB in London, and they came back with this incredible color for the cover. So really happy with it, and it just makes me happy every time I look at it. So I love it. Then let's talk about the city itself and the mountains and the view. This is Fonzazzo. I didn't realize that the designer was going to use a picture that I actually took in October, when I was in Fonzaso on a clear day, I walked to Santa Ana, which is where the women used to go to pray and still do go to pray. And it's a very important place in the book. And I turned around and I took some pictures, and then I gave those to the designer. And of course, I wanted a cover that was taking place in the evening with the moon, so I didn't expect my image to show up, but she actually did incorporate it, and you can see the church spire of Fonzaso, the mountains in the background. And I love that, you know, she has the little light, so you can see the life that's happening and the life that's taking place in these homes, all of the things that and all the stories that are happening with the people there. And I think it just really takes you to Fonzaso, and I hope that this book will take you there and will take you to Italy and into these women's lives. So the next thing to talk about besides that would be the woman herself. And we had to find the perfect ninetta. I needed my ninetta. And I couldn't be happier with the woman that we chose. So she has her hair pulled back in a chignon, which is how Ninetta always wore her hair. Every picture I have of her is like that. And then she is, you know, looking back from Santa Ana at her beloved town of Fonzaso, and she's holding a letter in her hand, probably a letter from Pietro. And I just loved that and thought it was so perfect. So very, very happy with that. And then finally, just a little detail, but these ornaments in the corner. So you can see there's a little Fleur de Lis and then little almost olives, if you will. Olives don't grow in Fonzaso, it gets too cold, but obviously they're something that's very Italian. And the Fleur de Lis is something that we actually took through the entire book, so that on each chapter and each part, you see the Fleur de Lis, the beautiful Fleur de Lis from the cover, taken all the way through. So I'm incredibly proud of the cover, and I think that it is beautiful. I think that it helps you understand what the story is within it, and I'm really excited that you are going to be able to experience it for yourselves very soon. So if you want to get more information about everything about the book, you can go to boldwomanwriting.com. I've updated and added a lot of photos of Fonzaso. You can also follow my Instagram at boldwomanwriting. And if you go to YouTube, I've actually added a beautiful trailer that has some footage of the real characters. So take a look, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ciao, grazie, baci.